Hello, everyone. Welcome on in to our Gamer Glam Cosmetics Glam with Pride stream. Hi, everyone. My name's Libby. Online, I go by Askesienne, but I promise Libby is fine. No one has to remember it. It's unpronounceable, and I get it. I'm here to host with four absolutely fantastic, amazing panelists. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to do a live Get Ready With Me for some wonderful makeup looks. We're going to talk about our experiences in makeup, in gaming, in cosplay, and in the industry. And of course, it's all hosted by Gamer Glam Cosmetics right here on the GGC channel. Gamer Glam Cosmetics was created in 2018. They're a cosmetic gaming company recognized for their efforts to acknowledge gamers of diverse cultures, sexual orientation, age, and so much more in the gaming and cosplay industry. Of course, gaming, makeup, all of it is for everyone, and it would be kind of ridiculous not to be included, especially during our Pride Month celebrations. I'm so excited to be here with y'all. There is so much to check out about Gamer Glam Cosmetics, so please make sure you're following the links in the chat and in the panels to all the information and to get yourself some awesome stuff. I just happened to stockpile it on my desk, as one does. One of the things that is so unique as we get started, we're going to meet our panelists in just a moment, but we're gonna do a little bit of learning first. One of the most unique things about Gamer Glam Cosmetics is that they're the only cosmetic company at all, but the only gaming cosmetic company that has a storyline for each of these palettes. So right here I've got, that's backwards. I've got our Space Legends and our Desert Warrior palette. And they each have a character and a storyline behind them that makes them so unique. So their viewers, the people who use the products can follow along while they're making their outstanding looks. And it was the current two characters as well as more coming. So one of the things we're going to do before we jump into meeting our amazing panelists is we are going to check out the video of our different characters and get to meet them. incredible characters here. So the first one that you watched was Blood Rain, and she represents the Space Legends palette, which you saw. We're actually going to be giving some away during the stream, so make sure you stay tuned and you come hang out in chat as well. Oh, I still got my plastic. That's their Space Legends. Beautiful, bright colors and totally blinding the webcam when you face it the other way. And our second character, Amani, of course, with the Desert Warrior palette, which I just started cracking open today. And I'm very excited about because I just got it in the mail. It was fitting timing for joining in. The other thing that is going on with Gamer Glam Cosmetics is that Gamer Glam Cosmetics is raising funds to create more opportunities for gamers, increase and improve inventory, as well as add characters to that lineup that you just saw to be able to showcase the diversity and inclusion of our industry of gaming, of makeup and cosplay and all of it. So you'll be able to find a link to IFundwomen.com in the chat, as well as you can donate directly on Coffee to help support Gamer Glam Cosmetics in all that they do. Gotta say, big vouch, very worth supporting, and have had nothing but amazing experiences, both with the products and with the people behind the company. Without any further ado, though, I want to make sure that we introduce our four fantastic panelists. I'll let them talk about themselves because they'll do a much better job than I possibly could. And just going on my screen, I'm going to start with Ashlinaa, please.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for coming to spend time with us and come hang out with us and kick off this amazing show, I guess you could call it. But for those who don't know, my name is Ashlinaa. I am a chronically ill Latina LGBTQ plus variety streamer on twitch.tv. I do it all on my channel, from makeup, SFX makeup, to animals. No, I'm kidding. I do a lot on my channel though, and I like to provide a cozy yet chaotic space. I also consider myself your local Hallow Queen. So if you love Halloween, if you love horror, come hang out, come check out the channel. I would love to have you. But yeah, that's me. That's me. Hello. Hello.
I love it. And I so appreciate the bonus cat as well. Extra bonus pets on stream are always the way to go. Let's start. Let's move on to Cashmonet, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Cashmonet. So I am a gay man that does drag. I do drag full time. And on my streams, I stream here in Los Angeles, California, so it's like 90 degrees right now, and I have no air conditioning. So if I am melting during this stream, just say it's highlight, okay? In my streams, I do video games. I also do makeup, and also during the week, I do a segment called Drag and Drop, which is my other job is I actually do video and photography editing for drag. So you'll see me edit some drag videos. You'll see me edit some drag photos. So if you want to learn how to do Photoshop or Premiere, just come on by. I'm so glad and happy to answer any questions that you have. So yeah.
That's awesome.
The name of that is so perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, drag and drop, what's that going to be? And it was exactly what it should be. That's so exciting. Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to meet you. Up next, we've got VideoGameDiva.
Hi, I am VideoGameDiva. I am a single mama. I am bisexual, LGBTQIA, and I do makeup ventriloquism. I have a puppet that I sing with, and a little bit of special effects, makeup, photography, all of the above. If it's anything creative, I pretty much like to dip my toes in it. It's always something different on my channel. I play everything from Animal Crossing to Dead by Daylight. And I definitely get stuck on games here and there, depending on what the community is playing. But we're very colorful and all-inclusive and welcoming, just like everybody else here. And I've also done a little bit of drag queen and king makeup recently. And yeah, so love Gamer Glam. I've been with them forever and love Daddy and everybody else included, and really excited to be a part of this.
We're excited to have you, and definitely getting the colorful vibes from both the outfit and the background. It's perfect.
Color. What yes.
The shirt and the back wall all match really perfectly, and I think it's okay. See, you went the next level because streamers never. We were talking about this before the show.
Have pants on, guys.
Don't think about what pants we're wearing because you're never gonna see it, right?
No.
You only see it from the midpoint up, maybe.
Right.
So yeah. Props for adding on like thematically appropriate pants or thinking about what pants you're wearing at all.
Right.
It's so good to have you here. And our fourth and final guest on our panel is Defemalephenom. Please let us know who you are and what you're all about.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Defemalephenom, Phenom, or DFP for short. I identify as she, her, pansexual. I am a mommy gamer. I play horror games. I love horror, wrestling. I'm also an autism awareness activist. So we mainly talk about that, mental health in our streams. I also am a lover and a self-taught special effects makeup artist. I'm also the founder of two stream teams, the DFP Army and the Scream Reapers. The Scream Reapers is a horror-based stream team for individuals who identify themselves as women of color. That was started for my love of horror, for my love of makeup, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about working with different panels, whether it's, you know, about makeup or it's about games or anything, is just meeting people and hearing all about their fantastic projects. So I'm excited because I have a bunch of new places to hang out, and I'm excited to meet you and your communities, and that's just so wonderful. What I'm seeing so much of in this panel is creativity, is passion, is enthusiasm, and, you know, just a wonderful sense of self in all of you. So I'm very excited to get all of this rolling. We're going to be doing a live get ready with me, but also I get to distract them by asking them questions, both about makeup, about LGBTQIA plus issues, all across the spectrum. And if you have questions for any of the panelists, you can post them in chat.
Yes.
Prior to getting into our makeup, while these folks get set up and ready, we do have a quick little break. We have a quiz that you can participate in by typing in the chat. I probably will be too, where you can learn a little bit. Like we said, we're celebrating Pride Month, which, you know, queer people exist outside of June, but with the extra attention, let's live it up and have a great time. So we're going to take a quick little quiz. You can learn some stuff about what we're going to discuss, and we'll let our artists get themselves set up and get ready. that's definitely a wonderful message to close out with there, as well as to take pride in who you are, which is what we're all here to do. And hopefully, you know, everyone gets to do that. But we also know we live in a world where that doesn't always happen. So the more we can be loud about keeping people included, the better, especially right now. So the plan for the show is that all 4 of our panelists here are going to be doing their makeup. It's going to be about 30 minutes. You know, I'm not calling it a race, but like it might be a little bit. Let's just see.
Giving us 10 more minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 more minutes. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're so y'all are gonna be going through makeup looks. I'd love to hear while this is happening. I also get to ask you a bunch of questions, which is gonna be just the right level of distracting, so that hopefully, you know, we get to talk about some cool stuff. It turns out great. I believe.
Well, we all stream, right? So we usually have a chat and we do our makeup.
Yeah.
And
but how often does chat talk to you out loud while you're live?
This is
right?
true.
This is a challenge, a speed run for the folks who actually play with other folks in like a Discord chat versus silent on my own. But as we're getting into it, I'd love to hear one, a little bit about what you're planning, because I'm just super curious and I want to watch it unfold, but also, when did you first start doing makeup? And it's up to any of y'all who would like to answer.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
Because this idea literally just came in my head today. The reason why I wore this glass is because as a drag queen, you have to wear eyelashes, and right now I'm not wearing any eyelashes right now, but looking at this like star on my face, I think I'm probably gonna use the pink in this palette and try to put like a star right here.
Okay.
See if it works out.
I love that.
And then how did we get started? Is that what you said?
Yeah. When did you first start doing makeup? When did you get started? Like what brought you into makeup? Being
a baby drag queen. Watching drag and being like, you know what, I can do that. And then the first time is always a photo you get to keep, back pocket, your first baby drag queen. And yeah, the rest was history.
I love it.
How long have you been doing drag?
Right after I graduated college, so 2015, 16. I was a Halloween drag baby. There's 2 different kinds. There's Halloween and then there's Pride drag babies.
Okay.
So mine was October 3rd.
I love that.
It's October 3rd.
I was
October 3rd.
It was October 3rd, booked on a date.
Perfect. I love that. Ashlinaa, you're definitely with the Halloween life too. I saw you light up. You're like, oh, Halloween, let's go.
I was like, I'm excited for this and I'm excited for you. I'll go next if that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is probably like a yellow to pink kind of lid. With like an eyeliner look. I'm not going to do a closed cat eye, but an open cat eye. We're going to see how it goes. But oh my gosh, my first memory of makeup is I think I had to be under 10. And my aunt actually did it for me. So, and I like paraded around the house like, ooh, look at me. I'm so, beautiful with my 10-year-old little self makeup, and I did like a little photo shoot on the mantle, and I still have the photo that they took of me in my little dress with my little heels. Yeah, so that was my first memory. And then I don't know, it just kind of evolved from there. And I don't know if anyone can relate to this in chat, but like Urban Decay was like my makeup awakening with all of their like naked palettes and stuff. Like I remember this is when I got like super heavy into it. So that's my answer. Yeah. There it is.
It's such an early on staple, especially when they first launched, where I know for myself, I have none claim to being a makeup artist. I put makeup on to go to work and to stream. But I would love to, but don't currently feel that I possess the talent of the makeup art part. I've already tried a little. I told Glam Daddy this palette gives me so much agita because there's bright colors in there. And it's scary. But it's that I feel like that set of like early makeup launches, like, oh, here's like a
Right.
kit and here's all
Right.
the things you
Right.
do. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I was like in high school, right? Like drugstore makeup was what you
Right.
did because that was what you get.
Right.
The ones, I can't remember what company it was, but it'd be like the little palette and it was like the picture of the eye and you like
Yes.
Mm.
Revlon. With
I'll
like,
admit I used
They
that all the
still
way
do
through
it. Half of them
college.
still
That
do
was
it. Yeah.
it gives me the diagram. I can't mess this up.
right. This goes on your crease. This goes on your lid. This goes on. Yes.
Yeah.
Revlon. That was like, and
Yeah.
CoverGirl. Like that was like.
And it was by eye color. So it was
Yes.
like, oh, like find your like
Right.
this is
Green
the
eyes,
right
you do
one.
purple.
You
Yeah.
just unlocked
And the
a
purple
memory.
one.
You just
Oh
unlocked
my
a
gosh.
memory.
I
Oh my
love
gosh.
that. I do want to say a quick thank you to our supporters in chat, Favor, the 1,000 Dream Fund, Kishi for all the subs, launching a hype train as well.
Wow.
Thank you very much for your
go.
support.
Hype
You guys are
hype.
absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Diva, I think I accidentally overtalked you a little bit. I want to hear your story too.
So I never really did makeup growing up. I always loved Halloween. I always used Halloween as my like excited time of year that I got to dress up. My mom was never really into like girly girl things, and my dad was super sporty as well. So I was always kind of like what they would call a tomboy, even though I hate that saying. But I have always loved it, always wanted to try it. And even my cousin and aunt were super into makeup, and I never felt like I could afford it. And I never really knew how to do it. And it was almost discouraged by one of my mom's exes. So when I finally got into streaming, I, would talk to Chad about my story and about how I wanted to do makeup, and I loved Halloween, and I really wanted to get into cosplay more, but I didn't know how to sew, and I don't want to wear costumes. I want to like do it myself.
Right.
And one of my mods gifted me a palette. And I won't say the palette because I don't support that company anymore, but
So sweet though.
yeah, it was very, very sweet. And I still have the picture from just about 2 years ago, because I've been streaming for 3 years. And it was just a bunch of pink eyeshadow rubbed on my eye. And from then to now, I just really started watching videos. So just a little under 2 years. And not a ton, but I've been trying to get more active within this past year specifically. I was over on Mixer for a while, and people loved it over there as well. And I did some like spider looks, and I did some gory SFX looks. I really started to get into that stuff, and just by watching videos and figuring it out myself. And ever since, I keep going with it, and gotten some pretty cool opportunities with Twitch and with Glam Cosmetics. And I'm really, really thankful for all the people that have inspired me. I'm super inspired by drag queens as well. I used to be in theater, and the drag queens, I used to do theater at a gay club. And they always had their shows right after ours. So they'd be getting ready. And I'm like, I want to learn how to do makeup from them. But I never took the opportunity then because I was scared. So now I'm like surrounded by all these amazing creative people. And I'm so happy to be in the company of such awesome people.
You're iconic. I mean, look at you, how much you've learned. Like, you seriously learned so much. Like, seriously.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, like, kind of going into, I'm sure what a question that we'll have, or some people in chat might have, is literally just do it.
Right.
Like, you may be scared. You may think you don't know how to blend.
On the list. Just do it.
But like, I used to be so scared of blending. I used to be so scared of what brushes do I use? And I just started getting them, or, one thing at a time. You don't have to get everything at once. You can literally get an eyeshadow brush and a palette, and you can get whatever brands you want, whatever drugstore brands, whatever.
Right.
Obviously, please support Glam Cosmetics if you can.
Yes, absolutely.
But, it's about just doing it and getting your hands in there and trying it, not being scared to. And that's how I got started, was literally just giving up on being scared and worrying that I don't know how to do it, and just doing it.
And
that's literally the same.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's literally the same advice I give to people who want to start doing drag too, because it's like, you just got to do it.
Right.
And everyone starts somewhere.
Right.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Find you somebody who inspires you too. Like,
yeah.
No, so I love Tonzi TV. I don't know if anybody knows Tonzi.
Yes.
But Tonzi was like the first person that I felt like I asked questions to that didn't make me feel stupid, that didn't make me feel like I was being judged, but still gives me criticism, and still constructive criticism, and still like encourages me.
Right. I was literally just about to say that, like, if you are nervous or if you have any questions, what I've learned from the beauty community on Twitch is we are all so helpful
Mm-hmm.
and an open book. We're not gatekeeping any part of the community from anyone. So if you have any questions, ask. Like, seriously, DMs are open. Like, just DM. You know, if you want to come to hang out for some of our makeup streams, I try to make my makeup streams super educational. Like, you could literally go back and watch the VOD and do it step by step. So, you know, don't be scared. Like, just ask us. If anything, we want more people to get more involved. In the makeup community. So
yes, please.
Don't be afraid to ask ever. Ever.
And I there has not been one stream that I have not gone into, especially body painting as well, because that's something I'm a little nervous to get into for reasons. But everybody is so helpful and welcoming, and you know, if you're worried about what I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you say I for reasons?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I love
it. That's a bit of a mood. I sit this way because that's how I've learned to sit on Twitch. But similar reasons, my friend.
But yeah, like there's just so many awesome people out there. So don't be afraid. And for obviously, I'm pretty sure all of these people in here included, and anybody in the Gamer Glam community would be welcome to help. And I know a lot of people that get ready and do their makeup before they do their stream on stream, like before they play their games too. So it's a great opportunity to ask questions.
I've thought about doing that for a while. The sort of like get the baseline done and then do the rest on stream.
And stream in the beauty and body art category, please.
Yes.
Stream in the beauty and body art category. We need to grow this category. Stop using just chatting. Stop using the other ones. Use this category.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it's meant for. I do want to get a chance to hear Phenom's story as well. How you got started in makeup, kind of your baseline as well.
First, let me say I apologize. My youngest son, he's autistic, so he gets frustrated and triggered easily. So just bear with me with the background noise.
Life happens. We just gotta keep rolling with it. No worries.
I got started in special effects makeup. I remember my first movie that I saw was American Werewolf in London. And I saw the transformation from the werewolf, from the human, to the werewolf. And I was like, I gotta do this.
Yes.
So I remember we had like little plays and stuff in school. And I was like, I'm going to be the makeup artist for the school. So then we did I think it was a play in middle school. And I was in charge of makeup. And I was so fascinated with like blood and gore. And I'm telling my friend, I'm like, just lean your head back and the blood is going to shoot out. Well, the principal did not like that.
Yeah, no.
So it was blood all over the stage, all over the teacher. It was a mess. I was excited, but everybody was like, what the hell is this? So my mom, she came and picked me up from school. And she's like, you know, you're going to have to stay home with me for a couple of days. And I'm like, yes. And she said, but you did a good job. And from that moment on, I was like, this is what I wanted to do. So
I love that.
Yep. So she supported me. I remember sitting up late nights with her. My sisters using them as guinea pigs, like making masks out of toilet paper and latex, and I just like turning into different creatures, or turning people into different creatures that are in my mind or in my imagination. And then it's like, I did that. Like, I did that. Yeah. So
I love that so much. I love scaring people. That's why I do the creatures that I do. I don't know. I know that sounds like so morbid and weird, but like, it's my favorite part of it. If I evoke an emotion out of you with my creature creation or my SFX, like, I've done my job. Like,
how I know that I did a good job is when I'm taking the kids trick-or-treating and the people who are passing out the candy are like, can I take a picture with you? Like, yes, I did good.
I love that.
That's so cool. Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. I just, something that sounds so cool from your story about your mom's encouragement was like, you know, you have to stay home, but you did do a really good job.
Right.
Like, it wasn't maybe like the school appropriate thing to do, but boy, did you do it. Like, it was
that's
well
so
done.
Important too. That's awesome to have that kind of support.
Yes.
She was very supportive. She always, my sisters and I, she always like, even with us coming out to her, she even was like, I thought you were going to tell me that you broke something. Like, she was She's always so supportive in whatever we did, whatever we wanted to do. Even if she thought it was like crazy or stupid, she would be like, well, we're just going to try it out and clean up afterwards. Like, that's the type of mom that she was.
Love that, because if I can speak from a personal perspective, and of course, like, I know we need to move on to different questions, but
no, I want to hear it. I'll ask a new question when we run out of stuff to talk about. That's what we're gonna do.
So coming from a different perspective, like, my mom, you know, she like walks into my office and she's like, I'm scared. And I'm like, you don't need to be scared. Like, it's okay. I'm not, this is what I want everyone to understand about the horror community. We're not serial killers. Not all of us worship Satan. And if they do, who cares? That's their prerogative. And, you know, like, we're not gonna hurt you. Like, this is just a genre that I've fallen in love with, that I've loved since I can remember, you know, and like, it feels so nice to hear that, you know, Phenom's mom was so supportive, because my mom still walks in my office and she's like, I'm scared to come in here. And I'm like, don't be, like, it's art to me, you know? So, and then of course, like, with coming out, you know, as LGBTQ plus, you know, having that support is huge, because, you know, not everyone has that opportunity. And my pride message for this year, like, you know, in general, I have like a pride message, I guess you could say, is like, just because someone isn't like out and loud and like, you know, shouting from the rooftops, like, doesn't mean that they're still not valid, because it might not be safe for them to do so. So we, you know, we have to respect that. But no, I just wanted to come from a different perspective and say, like, I'm so glad you had that support, you know, because I'm still working on it. I'll get there. You'll get there. Right.
Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic segue, actually, Ashlinaa, perfect, into what was going to be my next question. Obviously, we are streaming makeup and it's a great time, but we're specifically streaming Glam with Pride because it's June and it's Pride Month. Our next question for the round table would be, regardless of what your sexuality is, what obstacles have you faced being LGBTQIA+, whatever you fit into in that window, what advice do you have for others facing the same? I think talking about support, talking about, like, I think Ashlinaa gets to start off perfectly, of like, if you're not out, if you're not being super loud, that's also valid is very important, because I'm sure there are tons of folks who are, you know, seeing these giant celebrations and going, that's not for me yet, right? It could be, it might be, but it's not for me this moment.
Right now, exactly.
I think that's a fantastic opener to talking about your experiences. Obviously, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Not going to push anybody for stories they don't want to tell, but what you'd like to talk about as far as obstacles and what advice you'd give to others, whether in chat or
I'll start because mine's short and simple. If that's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah.
My mom came out to me when I was 10 as a lesbian.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And she's like, what? And I was just like, okay. And I even had other adults like asking me, like, are you okay with this? Like, how are you? And the funny thing was my parents had just gotten divorced and nobody had asked me about that. So that gave me like at 10 years old, a big perspective on the, like, you know, disparity between mental health and you know, being gay and all of the other things.
Yeah.
And so that, you know, that set that precedent for me. And then growing up, I just, you know, I always had my attractions to people and I've always thought pretty much everybody was hot. And I just had always been in hetero facing relationships. So I just always assumed that I was straight. But then, you know, as the older I got and the more I was around people and the more I was open with my sexuality and like things I was interested in and actually streaming, we do like Never Have I Ever and all these games. And I'm like, I don't think I'm straight. Like I've always kind of felt like I loved everyone, but you know, I thought just because it was sexual that it wasn't valid. I thought just because it was more sexually, I was always sexually interested in everyone, but relationships I'd only been in hetero. And I think it's a lot of the hard part with being bisexual and only being in hetero facing relationships, not feeling valid. And that's where, like, I think I'm really especially glad to be on Twitch and be around people and seeing actually good things on Twitter and learning from other people within the community, what the where you fall in the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. It is a spectrum and it is fluid, and you can grow and you can change and you can learn and you can identify how you want to identify. And I think the hardest part for me was I was never comfortable with a label because I didn't want to use the wrong label. And last year actually was when I came out as bisexual, and I'm still a little fluid with it. I also go by queer because I think I like to be under the umbrella of, I'm leaning towards pan, but I'm still like figuring it all out. So, but I felt good putting a label on it finally. And this is technically my first Pride as out. So
Me too.
yay. And I'm seeing so many awesome people that have like been finding their identities. And it's been so cool in the Twitch space to see people supporting each other. So I just want to say thank you, especially to everyone in the chat and everybody with out there on Twitch who've been supportive not only of me, but the other amazing people out there and who don't invalidate bisexuality and other identities on the spectrum.
Biphobia is not allowed in this space.
Mm-mm.
Please, no.
Ever. Right. And if I could piggyback off of that, because this is also my first Pride like out. I came out last year as demisexual. And I think it's important to talk about this because this was actually like a topic on Twitter there for like a second. Like asexuality, like that umbrella, you know, it's constantly kind of overlooked. And I've even gotten some of the, well, you're just like a genetic anomaly, essentially, like because you are, you know, asexual under the asexual spectrum. And like, I remember that hurting so much. And it's like, no, I'm just as valid as everyone else. You know, my experience with people and sex and everything is a lot different, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? And so, I don't know, asexuality is valid. You know, I'm demisexual. I just came out as pan-romantic as well. You know, it's all, oh my gosh, and Faye is actually in chat, and we talked about this, you know, it's like, you have to fight for yourself, and like that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm finally to a point, you know, where
feels good, doesn't it?
Right.
Yes.
It's like, if you don't
a lot of weight off of your shoulders.
If you don't like what's going on here and you like don't understand, at least respect me. Like, you respect me as a human being. And so I do want to say, like, if you are asexual and you identify under that asexual spectrum, you are valid, and don't let anyone make you feel weird or like you don't belong. You do belong. And so, you know, I want more recognition that A, you know, besides like agender and stuff, is for asexual spectrum. You know, I want that to be a thing, and I want us all to just love each other, you know? So it took me until I was 29 years old to figure out this part of myself. Take your time. It's okay. There's no need to rush or anything like that. It will happen. Trust me. It will happen. It will happen.
Yeah. I think there's so much of that is just like resonating. Well, Diva was talking about like, yeah, well, I've only been in like hetero facing relationships, but like I don't, that's not all that like, I don't think I'm sitting there going, yep, got it. Like, and it's actually like, I think what's so interesting is I actually, for the longest time, like when I was younger, was like, oh, like I'm bisexual, whatever. And you get when you're a teenager, you get this response like, oh, you're just doing it for attention. I was just like, it's just a phase. Okay, I guess I am. Like, and I just like walked away from talking about it.
Like, I like kissing girls, and people are like, oh, you just want to like get it for attention.
Oh, it's just that Katy Perry song. Like, like, oh my gosh. It was, I literally at that, like I was like 16, because you're so emotionally mature at 16. I was like, okay, I guess if everyone's saying that, that's what it is. Yeah. And it's very much evolved into the same thing, actually, of like, yeah, like I'm 29 and like I still don't have the answer to the question, but like we'll get there. Like,
it's 35 with 2 kids, 2 different relationships, single mom. Like, it's, you know, every relationship, every person, every situation is different. And you can grow and you can change, and you can be fluid. You can be anything you want to be. Find your identity and be comfortable in it, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
I'm 38, and I just, like, for a long time I thought that I was bisexual. And then I had a conversation with one of my friends who just transitioned into a male, and he was like, well, would you date anybody who's trans? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, bitch, you're paying. And I said, what? And then once he started breaking it down to me, and it was like, okay, I do like this. I do like what I like. So it's eye-opening, and it's like a sense of relief, because I remember when I was younger and I was sneaking into the ballrooms and I was sneaking to the pride parades, and I felt like I was at home, but I didn't know who or what I was. So finding out who you can identify, your pronouns, your your identity is like relieved. It's like a sense of relief. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for.
Freedom.
Yes,
absolutely.
I do think for myself, I was very brave as a child, so I came out when I was a sophomore in high school.
I love that.
But as a drag person and a drag artist in my everyday life, I've gotten countless messages of friends that I've had before that said, "You've changed my life. The way that you present yourself, like I got a message from someone I used to be in a dance group in San Francisco, and they told me that being friends with me, they really found out what it meant to be not only a man but a queer person, because they were very, very like mask presenting, and it was very taxing on them or on themselves. So for myself, I think I'm loud for the people who are not able to be loud.
I love that. That's
awesome.
So beautiful. That's so beautiful.
And that's the other thing, like the misconception of masculine, feminine, and understanding the difference between, sexuality, identity, and all the different types of things. Like the genderbread person really, I don't know if you've heard of that. The genderbread person, it like tells you the difference. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I'll send it to you guys later if you want. But it shows.
I have not, but I'm excited. I like the idea.
So a friend showed this to me, and it actually helped me because this was before I came out. So it's the difference between gender expression, attraction, gender identity, and anatomical sex. And it just shows, it has like identity as the brain, attraction as the heart, sex as your genitalia, and expression as who you are as a person. Ooh. So I think for some people to understand that separation and that you can fall under any of the things, and there's a fluid line that you can go between masculine, feminine, being in the middle, and being who you want to be.
Right. No, and like I think that's an important aspect for everyone to kind of understand and grasp. It's like, as this being my first time like out, because I did like mention it last year, but this is like my first Pride like being out. It's like I am continuously like learning things about myself and like what I like, what I don't like, and like preferences kind of thing, and it's just like, don't be scared of that, because it's normal, and I think that people, they start questioning themselves, and I call it like escape into their straightness, because like escape back into straightness, because this doesn't feel right, like this isn't normal, this isn't what a normal LGBTQ plus person would be experiencing, and like that is so not true. Like we are all learning so much about ourselves constantly, so don't be scared of that part, and like knowing that everything is like on a spectrum or a wave, or however you like to have it explained to you, because that was my fear. I was like, wait a second, like I'm feeling so many things, like is this normal, like and yes, it is. So don't be scared of that.
For sure.
There's the link to the genderbread person in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, Diva, for sharing. I think that's like all of the stories, and the chat, thank you for the support, the love, everyone saying they are so glad to hear your stories, and also how awesome your looks are going so far. I just think it's so, like, just to your point about being loud for others who can't be, or for making sure that people understand what's normal, is like to talk about these things and not it be like, oh, let me ask my friend in private that I have this question about what I'm trying to figure out about myself. To be able to have those conversations is like, it's not weird or different or wrong to talk about those things and figure out who you are. And I think it's so nice to hear y'all tell those stories. Even for myself, I'm like, oh yeah, like I can still figure it out. Like, that's fine. I'm allowed to figure out what I'm experiencing.
You're never alone.
Right. Yeah. And I try to tell my community that we do a lot of never have I ever. And I kind of like to do, I've wanted to do talk shows and podcasts, but I'm also all over the place. And then being a mom, I don't have time, but I love doing the, like, there are no taboos here. Like, and we can have discussions. We don't have debates. We can have discussions, but it's okay to have differing opinions, but it's also okay to express yourself. And we're a safe space, and no one will ever be harassed or, you know, have anything said to them to feel bad about their identity or who they are.
Right.
And I've had a lot of close friends and people in the community who are in the chat who have either come out or been open about what their sexuality is and said that it's helped them to have someone who is, you know, non-biased and open. And so like, just know if you have the ability as a person and you have a platform, just know you are making a big difference by just being on stream and being open about what your sexuality is, because there are lurkers and there are people who don't speak out as much, but we make a big difference. And so keep doing what you're doing and being open. And you also, like we said before, don't have to be loud either. You can be who you are. And
this is the importance of inclusive spaces and why it is being preached so much, because not everyone has a safe space where they are allowed to be themselves, especially the transgender community. So if you can offer a community where they feel safe to be themselves and they can talk about the things that they're going through, do it. You know, have those inclusive spaces. I know it's a hot word right now, but like, it's a serious
there's a reason it's a hot word.
There's a serious issue with people not being inclusive and not letting people just be themselves.
Or using cringy terms or using terms that, because it's game speak, and making it as an excuse to why you can speak that way. Like my kid, raising 2 boys, you know, it's very important for me to teach them about the things that are not funny. One of my kids' friends the other day just said, "That's gay." And I said, "What did you say?" What'd you say? And he's like, "Nothing." And I said, "Honey, we do not say that here. And if you'd like to have a discussion, we can. Otherwise, I can talk to your mother about it. But we do not do that here." He's like, "Sorry, ma'am."
I have had those discussions with my son's friends also, because it's like, and luckily my son is like, "You're not going to talk like that. My mom is," at that time I thought I was bad. He was like, "My mom is bisexual. That's offensive to me." I'm like, yes. But then I'm like, let me just educate this young man and let him know, you know, what's going on.
It was a kind of a hard moment to go further, because we were like out at a lake and, you know, we were like in the middle of doing stuff, but I talked to his mom about it and she agreed. She was like, "Yeah, no, we don't say that. He knows he shouldn't." So she took care of it. I normally would. I just, sometimes it's hard to find the right moments to step in, but that's awesome. You were able to talk to him.
I in a previous role, so my day job is I'm a community manager and a social media manager in gaming industry. And I used to work on a game that was played primarily by middle schoolers. So our Discord was a very trying time. And I had to, it was based, at a certain point, it was important, but, you know, frustrating that I had to do it. I literally had a bot command that was like, "Hey, you might think you're being edgy gamer kid, but when you say that's gay to mean that's bad, you are telling someone else who's reading this chat that you think being gay is bad." Like the basic explanation that we've all understood. You know, there were like PSAs about it, at least when I was growing up, right? But it's so interesting to watch someone learn that for the first time.
They think they're just being funny or cool. They want to do what my friend
says that. My friend says that this person I watch on whatever media, and to your point, Ashlinaa, like that's the idea. If you have a platform, make sure that platform is teaching people the right proper way instead of the gamer word. You know, whatever that is for those communities. But it was so interesting and important to create that structure around, hey, we're not just saying this is bad. Here's why saying it is so offensive.
Teaching the why is so important.
Especially with young men. I'm not trying to tell that to moms, but like,
oh no,
it's true to the chat, but so important with younger folks as well. I do want to shift, because I think you guys are on some amazing topics, but in the discussion on spaces online and platforms, both with makeup and beauty and cosplay content, as well as your experiences within your own identities, what's it been like in gaming and here on Twitch? It's obviously a different experience, but I think sometimes folks who don't live on the margins don't see why it's different. And they go, "Oh, well, you get like all this special attention. Like, I don't get why," which is not great, not great of a perspective to have, but I think sometimes there's not a lot of visibility into what those experiences look like. And I'd love to hear from y'all, and I'd love to get a chance to kind of explore those if you'd like to share something.
So I'm going to speak from like a kind of different perspective, and I think it's important that I do this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I am Cuban, Colombian, and I am indigenous. But you look at me and you probably wouldn't think that. So that considers me, I guess, white passing, quote unquote. So there is a level of privilege there. So my experience in the gaming community, I would say, has been kind of like a 50-50 split. Now with the tags being introduced, I do feel myself getting trolled more often, you know, because I have those identities now, you know, like whereas before I would just say it in a stream, not everyone is going to know that. Now they see it, you know. So I will say that my experience with gaming, you know, has been different, I think, because of that. And I feel like a lot of things are more accepted by me because of that. And like I'm gonna talk about this because it is a thing, you know. And so as far as makeup has been one of the most, that was how I started streaming. When I started streaming in 2016, makeup was what I did. That was what I did when I first started streaming. So that experience for me has always felt so natural, I guess you could say. And the community has been nothing but uplifting. I've never experienced any sort of pushback or anything like that. Like, it's always been such a welcoming space. But I did want to talk on that because I think it's important that I mention that, you know, because that does bring a different perspective from person to person, you know, based on skin color and things like that. It's just the reality of the situation. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
It's interesting. I did my very first stream with the tags on yesterday.
Okay.
And
okay.
I know. Well, I took a bit of a stream break like right as they launched, so it was just bad. It wasn't intentional, it was just bad timing. And what I find really interesting is that the first thing I got was a text from someone I know personally, like, why do you have that tag on? What's that about? And I was like, what? Like, I put it there. And like, and I was actually expecting, because I am also have chronic illness, so I put invisible disability on. And I'm pretty open with my community about mine. I talk about it a lot. And I was waiting for like questions about it, and one stream down, nothing to go. But we'll see. But what I found so interesting about the tags was not necessarily from a stranger, but from someone I knew. It was like this aggressive, like, why is that tag on your stream? I was like, because I put it, because I said so.
Because you're grown.
Because I'm a grown adult person and I can choose what I put in my content. Anyway, that's a wild idea, isn't it? Sorry, go ahead, Phenom, please.
I'm sorry. For me, as being a woman of color, I feel that we get the double sword. Person of color and your LGBTQ, that is like a troll's paradise. And I didn't want, when the tags first came out, it gave me anxiety. It made me anxious because it's like, now they can really find us. It's like, we're looking for people who look like us. We want people to find us who can identify with us and feel safe. But how do you protect someone when someone is attacking you for trying to do something to give someone a safe haven? And it's gotten so bad that it's like, I don't want to use the tags anymore because I have gotten botted. I had to call my local police department in the middle of stream to stop a SWAT to come to my house.
Oh no, absolutely.
It's horrible. Yes, it's horrible. And I tell, like, with my stream teams, I'm very protective of them because I am their first line of defense when something goes wrong. I gave them this safe space. So it's gotten so bad where I had to tell them, like, you know, if you guys want to use it, that's fine. But here is the emergency contingency plan if something happens. And it's sad that we have to go through that. Like, we have to deal with stuff outside of social media, outside of streaming. And then we just want to sit down and play a game or do makeup or just enjoy ourselves. And we can't even enjoy, our communities can't even enjoy us because they're having a hard time typing in chat because of the bots. They're having a hard time typing or talking to us and interacting with us because they see it on our face that we're upset. And it's horrible. I just in my own perfect world, and I'm saying in my own perfect world, that these tags would bring us closer together.
Right.
And I have gotten so many messages from kids who were like, thank you for talking about your experience, or, I'm so happy to see somebody who looks like me playing video games.
Oh my gosh, right.
And it's like, that's why you keep coming back. But at the same time, you want to protect them, even though they're not your babies. If they decide to stream, you don't want them to be like, oh, I found her in Phenom stream. Let's go get her, our next victim. So it's trying. It's really tough. It's really horrible. And I hate when people use the term, well, this is what you signed up for, or it happened.
I hate that.
Nobody deserves this.
No.
Nobody deserves it at all.
No. Absolutely not.
No. I had that happen to me in that same community manager job with the middle schoolers, where I was receiving a bunch of harassment, and like someone who I reported it to at the company was like, oh, well, like you're a community manager, you're in front of people, this is just what you get. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
That
like
doesn't make
that
any
wasn't
sense.
even identity
Harassment
based.
of any kind is never signed up for.
No.
Harassment of
Okay.
any kind is never signed up for.
It was so interesting. I think you said something really important, Phenom, as well, about teams and communities in general. I lead a team that is for women in femmes and women aligned broadcasters, and we have the same channel of like safety 911. This bad thing is happening to me. Here's a bunch of resources on how to do it. One of the things about leading a community, whether it is your own streams community or a group of other broadcasters, is being ready with that information and kind of being able to mentor through. And I think it's really just admirable that you do that. I think talking about, okay, well, we've created the space and we have to keep them safe is very true, but also, the work of doing that is impressive and wonderful, and just good that it is done. Because I think the more people know about that stuff, it shouldn't be happening, but because it does, we have to keep ourselves safe, and that's important work as well.
Monet, I'm very interested to hear from like your perspective, like especially with the tags, because this is a huge moment for the transgender.
And with drag, streaming and drag all the time, I'm sure.
Well, in our team, we definitely do have a lot of people who are like non-binary, who are trans, that are very excited about the tag. As far as like visibility on Twitch, like this is the first time I could, because on my titles, I make sure I put drag stream as like the first thing on the title, because it really solidifies like what you're gonna be seeing. And this is the first time somebody is seeing somebody. This is the first time it could be like somebody seeing a drag queen in quote unquote person. This could be the first time somebody is like dressing in a different way than them. So actually on my last stream, I had somebody message me and in chat, and they were really, really interested. They were like, it was their first time seeing a drag queen, first time like anything. And they were asking about like my pronouns and how they wanted to call me, and they didn't want to misgender me. And and
a learning moment.
It was very much a learning moment, because if I'm putting drag stream in the beginning of the title, and then the game is like, Mario 3D Bowser's Fury, like I'm popping up on there as something that no one has never seen before, making it like a learning moment for them.
Yeah, I think especially kind of given when you were with Mario, right? Like the idea of, okay, yes, I'm streaming and I'm also in drag, like that being a component of before the tags, Twitch tried to say, oh, the tags are about the game and not the streamer. And now they've kind of shifted that view. And I love the idea of being super transparent with like, you're going to click on this stream and this is exactly what you're going to get. This is what you're getting out of that stream. And I love
our
that
streams are about us. Like it's not just about the game.
I just really love, Monet, that it's so kind of educational and eye-opening. I think there's so many stories of this bad thing happened and this horrible, hateful thing happened, but also like, there is somebody who just wanted to know more. And I love your point about this could be someone's first time ever seeing somebody in drag and learning what that's like. And that's also a part of inclusive communities. Oh, please go ahead.
Definitely the community does help, because I was in a very perilous part of the game. And a lot of my community was like answering the questions for me. And I love that. Awesome. And I love that they know. And I love that these people are around me, because I started Twitch in the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay.
I tried to do it in the summer, but it's so hard.
Wow.
But I got it going. And I've heard all these horror stories about people coming into chat and trolling people. And I was doing it with my roommates, and my roommates got heated, and it's definitely an issue that's happening. But I'm with the tags, I definitely see that not only that I'm representing what I'm putting in the tags, but for last month, for Asian American Pacific Islander Month, I made it a point to be rating all Asian streamers and Asian streamers and Pacific Islander streamers. So a week late, so it was at the end, but I still made that point across that I was supporting young people.
No, and that's awesome. And that's awesome because, you know, that's another community that is continuously, you know, okay. And let me just speak from this perspective as well. The Latinx community makes up less than 2% on this platform. That is tiny. That is absolutely tiny. And so, you know, Twitch doing the AAPI, you know, like the awareness and everything, that was so wonderful because that community is also small on this platform. So to see that, it kind of gave me hope that Twitch will begin to realize the importance of inclusivity. And I wanted to say this when we were talking about safe spaces, you know, and this, I love this platform. I've been on this platform for 6 years, you know, like don't get it twisted, don't get it wrong. But Twitch has continuously allowed and fostered a community of edgelords and trolls.
Yes, indeed.
Us, these people who have continued to suffer, are starting to rise up, and we're starting to say, like, this is not acceptable. Here's the type of community that I have, and it's finally being heard. And I think the tags was a huge moment for that. So don't stop using your voices. Continue to foster and curate safe spaces because we're gonna beat these edgelord Logan Paul wannabe kids out of here. It's just not gonna happen.
She went there. Love it.
I love her.
It. Oh my god, you're right.
We gotta do it. We have to. We have
so my
to.
side isn't quite, you know, obviously I am Caucasian, I am white, so I definitely have privilege. Being a woman though, and I am larger chested, I have, that's more of where I've experienced the hate. I've started to become more myself lately, and you know, have more body positivity and wear the shirts and clothes that I want and dress sexier. And I did like a Poison Ivy makeup cosplay in October, and I was feeling myself.
Yes.
And
I remember that. It was good.
And that is really when I was like, F everyone else. Like, this is me. And I've always kind of had the confidence, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, I love Diva's confidence, but you know, we all have our behind closed doors things. And I have anxiety and depression and all sorts of things among being a single mom. I'm all over the place. So, but you know, coming in as well, I've always been open with my community about like what I like and what I love and who I love and what I'm into. And so the community, it never was a big thing. But I mean, being a woman in general, I've gotten harassment from the start a lot about being a mother, about having kids, about why are you streaming? Why aren't you taking care of your kids? I've gotten botted. I've gotten all of the things. I've been told I'm a whale. I've been told, you know, anything under the sun. And now that the tags have been introduced, obviously I've been able to express a little bit more because I don't look like I'm anything necessarily. I do have my flag in the background that helps a little bit, but I've really been able to express more. And I feel like that the thing is whatever we kind of keep saying is inclusivity, showing that it is 100% a safe space and you can find somebody that you can identify with. And I'm hoping that other parents out there can see that you can be who you want to be.
Yes, indeed.
Just because you have kids, you're not gonna turn them gay or, you know, like, and who cares? Like, there's just all of these stupid stereotypes, and I want to burst that bubble. I want to burst all the stereotypical bubbles. I hate hypocrisy. I hate like double standards and all of that stuff. So I'm trying to show also with teaching my children, and I sometimes have them on stream and I'll like ask them a question and show it like their responses just to show people that my kids are more mature than half of the people on Twitch. And if we can raise children to understand identity and who you are and how to treat people with respect, it makes a huge difference. I actually was talking to my son's friend's dad, which I was a little nervous because he is a straight white male and he's big and he's the football coach. And I was telling him about my stuff and how I'm, you know, teaching him about, I let my 11-year-old play online. I let him game. I let him play with friends online. But I was telling him about it. He's like, would you come talk to the high school footballers?
Oh,
and I was
awesome.
like, that is amazing. Like, that's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, and then I was talking to someone else at the pool yesterday with my kids.
Wow.
Apparently our children's hospital here does a safety course on video games. So
Awesome.
I'm thinking of reaching out to them about it, and not only bringing in about gaming, but bringing in the LGBTQIA perspective as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And teaching them just inclusivity, about, you know, toxicity, about like what words are allowed, you know, ableism, all of it.
Right.
Like showing them how being a decent human being is without being scared to be open about who you are, and talk about the topics that people are. That's the thing. Like my family, I think my hardest part of coming through all of this was, even though my mom's a lesbian, she was still always so afraid to talk about things. Yeah. She was never an out loud and proud kind of person. And I was at Pride with her, like, I was always, you know, like so excited. And she's just not as open about it, which is fine. But my family just has never been as open about anything. And I've kind of been the opposite of that. I want to talk about things. I want to be open. I want people to not be afraid who they are and share with each other, because Twitch is literally how I found who I am.
Exactly.
I always masked who I was my whole life because I wanted to fit into those boxes and have those friends, and I cared about what people thought.
Societal standards.
And since I've found who I am, and I'm too loud, I talk too much, I care too much, I'm too emotional, I'm too whatever, I'll be too much for you then. You can go be your boring self in your square over there. I'll be diva. So
I like the way that you said that, and that just like punched me directly in the chest of like, oh, I'm too much for you, fine, I'm too much for you.
That's
you
what,
can
so
go
my
be
sister
elsewhere.
would say, she'd
Oh
say, you're
my
too
God.
much. I say, I'm too much for you then. Or you're
Thank you for changing my week. Like thank you so much. I needed that so much in the second. And I'm sure that like I'm gonna write that down and put it on my monitor and remember that. I first of all, I'm so appreciative of everybody's different perspectives. I think this is the perfect conversation to be having. But of course, I'm not doing much of anything other than asking, but you're doing makeup looks as well. So I do want to talk a little bit about kind of makeup and industry as that applies to our industry as well. Now, obviously you're all creators who play games, do makeup, do cosplay, all sorts of different things. And I want to kind of talk about one from a creator's perspective. For the folks in chat who are meeting you for the first time, how can people best support what you do? And this can be individual for each of your content, right? Yes, there's come visit my channel, follow me, blah, blah, blah. But like, what can people do to support artists beyond sort of what you might think of as thanks for following me on Twitter and, you know, liking my posts?
Can I please say this? Because I say this
for it.
all the time. I get a lot of people, like, we always have goals. We always have like wish lists and stuff like that.
Right.
And I always get that person in chat that's like, well, I don't have any money to sub, or I don't have any money to buy from wish list. And I tell people all the time, when we post our makeup looks, tag these creators, tag these makeup brands, ask questions, share our stuff.
Yes.
Share our stuff on TikTok, like share it. The best way that you can help us, because if nobody knows who we are or nobody knows our name, we don't get anywhere.
Exposure.
So please share our stuff. That is the most. And I always end my stream, I thank my mods, I thank everybody who subbed, resub. And I always end my stream, thank you to everybody who retweeted my stream, because I love you the most. Because without you, nobody would know who I am. And I mean that, because that is the most, if you don't have, it's a
social
pandemic.
media is powerful.
It is. And if you don't have the money, that's the best gift that you could give a content creator, is to share, like, subscribe, all of the above.
Right.
Please do that.
Right. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well, Monet, because, you know, it's never your job to educate anyone. But, you know, I'm very curious how we can support you. You know,
what you just said, Defemalephenom, is exactly what I say on my streams, and even during live shows as well. Like, if you don't have any money to tip the girls, to tip the performers, you just pull out your phone, get their ad on Instagram, tag them, you don't have any
Right.
cash, you know what you can do? You can scream in the audience.
Yes.
If you can't subscribe to us on Twitch, just chat away. Just talk to us. Like it's like free stuff like that to get us engaged, to get us talking,
Yes.
to get us out there is really the easiest and
Right.
freest
Yes.
way to do anything.
Right.
So to tag on to that, I added a command for my Twitter, what my last tweet was in my chat.
Yes.
So
wow.
when I finish doing my look, they always know I take pictures. I go to be right back screen. I take my pictures. I sit there and like edit my little selfies or whatever I do. And then I post my TikToks or I post whatever. And I'm like, comment, share, like if you do that trio, it literally makes a difference. Even if it's just an emote, even if it's a GIF, those aren't the best, but anything is better than nothing. And if you've got 15, 20 people in your chat, even that's more than anything. And then they can share it. And who knows who will see that day, because they can share it one day and maybe somebody won't see it, but the next day somebody sees it. And even in person, my kids yesterday, like I was talking about at the pool, talk about your stream, talk about what you do, because you never know. Like people sitting next to me, this woman was like, who I never would have thought would have talked to me, was like, I do hair. Do you think I could stream on Twitch? I'm like, yes. Like,
absolutely.
do TikTok. Do use social media to your advantage. And I gave her the tips about TikTok. And go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like a social media manager for somebody else. So all the social media stuff is like totally true. I think one really special one of my followers, they clip a lot of my stream.
Clip your streamer's streams.
Yes,
I think
please.
Name the clips.
100 clips is better than 0 clips, even if it's just anything dumb, because I can go back, export them, and I can post those on like TikTok.
Yep.
That's how we make our trailers, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying so hard to do YouTube, and I'm just so overwhelmed with
It's
going
hard.
through 8 hours of a stream. So having people who can clip for you and do that stuff is so helpful.
Right. And if I could recommend
And that's
anything,
free too.
Yeah, no,
That is
exactly.
free.
No, seriously. And if I could recommend anything, because everything that everyone is saying is so true. Like I have a command in my chat. It's free. It's !free. And it's all of the free ways that you can support me.
I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, no, seriously, do it.
$3.99.
I'm writing that down.
It's all of the free ways that you can support me. If you can't sub or give bits or anything like that, I really honestly don't care about that. It's like exposure, retweet my tweet, like my stuff. Like I have a whole command of ideas that people can do that are free. So I was going to recommend that if you are a streamer or thinking about it or whatever, do a free command where you can tell people like, hey, this is free. This is how you can support me the best and the most. So
That's
If
actually,
you have friends like that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I have a panel instead. I don't have tip, sub, like how everyone has like separate buttons. Mine just says support, and under it is like, here's the free ways, and then here's not free ways at the very bottom. And I'm like, don't scroll down here.
I just wrote that down right now. So that's so cool. I had one of my followers, one of my clips, they did like a meme edit, like a really funny meme edit, and then I posted on TikTok, and that got me so many.
Memes do really well.
They do.
That stream on the next one, they're like, "Oh my god, hi, I'm from TikTok." I was like, "Whoa, really?"
I have a section in my Discord called Meme Diva. So I have the meme section where people can post memes, but I have Meme Diva, and
I love that.
Yeah, it's Jamesy in the chat right there. Yeah, Jamesy. If anytime you see anything on my Twitter, like my cat's ass in my face or anything like that, it's because of Jamesy. But we are so thankful of people, and Kelsey. She gets on my clips. So it's just so, it means so much to us to have people like that. And it's free and it's an easy way. And you get, like you guys said, you get those people who are like, oh, I don't have money. And that is not about that to us. Obviously, if I'm a full-time streamer. Yes, it is helpful. It
helps, right.
But exposure and word of mouth. So the other thing I was going to add in was, if you are at a hair salon, or if you are at a drag show, or you are around people who are doing things that, if people listening or anybody here, like, talk to people. And if you hear them saying something that makes you think of a streamer, talk about that streamer. Say, hey, I have someone I think you'd really like to watch. Or talk about Twitch. People don't know what Twitch is. And so many people that I talked to yesterday, even at the pool, were like, yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
I go to
And-
GameStop with my kids,
Oh, yeah.
and I
Oh,
make it a
yes.
point to wear my Twitch shirt.
They know me
And then
at my
you
GameStops.
hear, me too. And you hear the kids like, is she on Twitch? And I'm like, yes, here's my business card. And the parents are like, what?
Do
And
not
I'm
be
like, "Yep."
ashamed. Do it.
I go to Ulta. I ask the manager, hey, can I leave a couple of business cards here?
That's a
Wow.
good idea.
Yeah, so
Um,
Hoovian in chat, she's one of my mods. She plays Twitch at work on the TVs and has my stream up.
Oh, that's a good
Oh my
idea.
gosh.
And then there's
There you
local
go.
bars. If you have any bar arcades, a lot of the bar arcades will play Twitch on their TVs. So like I have a bar that I walk into, they're like, oh, hi, Diva. I'm like, hello.
Why?
Yep.
Leshki makes a really good point in chat, and I actually I was gonna mention this before she even said anything. Was Leshki has any of the Twitch gear? She actually goes and has her username put on it. So then you walk around. I wear my any of my Twitch gear, especially my purple like St. Jude Play Life hoodies because they're the purple Twitch logo.
Mhm.
I wear them to like Target. I wear them. I work with high schoolers. I coach high school robotics.
Cool.
Wow.
Weird and fun. But
That is so
my
awesome.
kids are all like, oh my God, Twitch, you game? And I'm like, yes, I do, my guy. Like, I absolutely. And then they're like, can I hang out? I'm like, just please don't tell me in chat that you know me from school because that's
Right.
so awkward. Like, just don't tell me. Don't. It's great.
Awesome.
There's something you said, Diva, about like, hey, exposure and word of mouth is great from a community, from a supporter. I agree. We're gonna shift to where exposure is not enough, and that's from a brand side. In the makeup industry specifically, with brands, what does the landscape look like right now, and how can the industry do better in terms of working with streaming creators?
I think Gamer Glam is on the right track.
Okay, yeah, well, not Gamer Glam's doing it
But
right.
I
We
mean,
know
you
that
guys
part.
know.
Using it as an example, I think
Yeah.
Gamer Glam is making an example of
Right.
of what we can do and what has been lacking. There are plenty of companies out there that have tried to enter the Twitch space or tried to enter online spaces and obviously do not show diversity. And that's a huge thing that's needed is, even, I mean, Phenom can speak way more on this, but, more makeup companies offering more shades and offering more things for people to have to be able to feel like they are comfortable in makeup.
Yeah.
Because, coming from a privileged point of view, yeah, I've had a hard time finding my shade, but guess what? I have shades that I can wear and not everybody does. So Phenom, feel free to piggyback off of that.
I think what they need to do first is, instead of making engagement posts, because I feel like that's what this was. I feel like a lot of companies make engagement posts, and you see the posts, and a lot of people are tagging everybody, and a lot of people are adding people. And while we appreciate it, it's not helping us because they already have in mind and they already have it set who they want and who they're going after. And it's kind of disheartening because I didn't pay to go to makeup school. I learned on my own, and I sat up late nights and I tried different things. I went to places. So I value my work, even if nobody else likes it. And I get that one person that's like, oh, you did really good. Can you do that made my day.
Right.
So it's kind of disheartening when you have all of these talented people who are available to you and are at your exposure, and you choose not to use them, and you choose to overlook them for someone else who has more views, or someone else who is lighter skin, or someone else who is I'm Caucasian. I'm just going to say it. We African Americans, Latinas, Asians, we all have a lot of information to give these makeup companies and to sit down with them and tell them, look, this is what looks good on our skin. This is what happens when we don't use matte foundation, or this is what happens when we even hair care products. Like, I think if they actually take the time and stop worrying about a marketing perspective and how they can get the most views and how they can get the most money, if you plan everything out and do it correctly and take your time and listen without any other intentions involved, it would be much successful, and we would be able to trust these makeup brands or larger brands.
Like, reach out to Twitch. Like,
yes.
Right.
your point about marketing and losing out money, I just want to bring something up. I have a master's in marketing. Like, this is actually what I do for a living, right? As well as specifically within the gaming space. You made a point there that was, well, if they stopped worrying about making more money. And I think the thing that sometimes those teams don't realize, I'm really big on, if you work in an environment and that environment does not have the diversity that the planet has, you're incorrect, right? That's not how you build groups of people, especially work teams. It's not how you get perspectives.
Shut people out.
Exactly.
That's exactly it. When it's about, you know, marketing money, I don't think sometimes teams that operate in that way realize that by excluding those people, you are losing out on all that money, right? It's one thing to say, oh, this is the right way, or the way other groups have done this type of marketing, this type of thing, but you are not only excluding people in your posts, your ads, your whatever, but you are excluding the revenue opportunity for those people who see you making content with POC creators, with darker skinned women, and go, oh, that company supports me. Here, take all my money, right? Right.
Exactly.
It's a massive loss to consider that for a smart marketer, or just a smart person in general, to see that as a loss of revenue in some way, because you're literally opening the door for more people. Like, just from a pure marketing background, it is the wrong choice. But I thank you so much for sharing your perspective. It's just the actual science of marketing also backs you up. There's no loss of money by making sure everybody wants your products.
It's hard because there are some posts on Twitter where, you know, you can tag a person, like they ask for you to like tag a person, and they have helped. Like, I've had a couple people I've met through tags like that, but it's not the best way. And when it's used in the wrong way, we notice as streamers. Like, we as streamers have had to become marketers. We've had to become, we are marketing, we are managing, we are producing, we are everything. When we are a streamer, we do it all, most of us do it all ourselves. So, you know, reach out to streamers, ask the streamers what they want. Like, ask streamers how you can help. You know,
and not only that, pay us, have a budget, and act like that, you know, our worth as much as we do. Don't insult us.
There's money in marketing.
It is.
Companies have like budgets for marketing. Paying a streamer, like we have so much ability, and not just bigger streamers, smaller streamers have great supportive communities. Ashlinaa, how much have you raised for charity recently?
I just raised $2,000.
See, and she's not like in the top 1% of streamers. So like, no matter our size, numbers are not where it's at. And I think some companies are starting to recognize this, luckily. Like, I have sponsors, obviously Glam Cosmetics, and then I have some other, you know, companies I work with that are recognizing how powerful streamers are and how big of an influence we can have with our platform. So don't be afraid to, you know, watch streams and get to know the streamers and see who fits within your brand. And as streamers, don't accept just anything, any company that comes out there. If it's just an affiliate code, make sure that you're getting your worth with it, because you are literally giving away your platform. You are letting a company slap their billboard on your stream for free.
And use you as a salesperson.
Yes, do your research.
Do your research before you say yes to something, because you just
Test
never know.
Like, Daddy, she let me try out the makeup before I accepted being a partner. Like, a company should let you try out their product first before you accept.
And they shouldn't make you buy it.
That big point right there.
You raised something really, really important as well. The idea of a smaller influencer, and by smaller I mean not, you know, 500,
not in the top 1%. We're not
CCVs,
Ninja, we're not
it's no shame.
That's actually much more effective from an engagement perspective, because yes, your community is smaller, but every single person in that room like aggressively cares about what you do. Like, the point I was actually going to bring up, the exact same point specifically about charity streaming, Diva, was when you see these communities, yes, of course, if you have a gazillion viewers, you're going to raise a gazillion dollars, because you will have these sort of like incidental, like this person gave 100 and everybody else could give 5, and then that times your 1,000 CCV is going to be a massive amount. Charity is a great example too of communities that are not the biggest in the world doing more, because the person that's sitting in that audience feels a genuine connection to who they're watching. And it's not like, oh, I'm one of 10,000 people. I'm one of the family or the community, right? Whatever term that individual creator wants to use. And it creates a higher quality lead And like sitting in my marketer brain, right? Like that is a better
you're
quality
right
click
to me right now.
That's a better quality click than someone with 10,000 viewers who none of those 10,000 actually care whether they're supporting the streamer. There's all sorts of, I could rant about that forever. That's not the topic of this panel, but you are 100% correct that
it's
those
true.
communities are more valuable.
It's true. And I want people to know, if you are an affiliate or if you are a smaller streamer, like always remember that your impact is so much greater than
your numbers.
And, impact has to be what drives Twitch continuously forward, because if we're constantly going to focus on numbers, we're going to have a mental health crisis. And, it's very important.
If not one already.
Right. No, exactly.
It's already been happening.
Exactly. And I just really try to, let my community know, like, listen, take yourself seriously, like treat yourself like a businesswoman, a businessman, a business them, and take yourself seriously, put your foot out there. What's the worst someone can say? No. Okay. Well, you just move on. Right. But I think companies really need to start paying attention to us, because we are that foundation that is lifting Twitch to a different kind of space. And, if I could speak from like a Hispanic perspective, like going to the store, like, yes, my shade is there, but my undertones aren't. Like I have I have that green olive to a yellow undertone, so I can never freaking find my color, but I also can make it work, but I just remember like going to the store and like, this is what I want to create, and the person just looking at me like, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay, yes, I can, watch me, like there's a lot of just gatekeeping and judgment happening outside of the Twitch space in the makeup world. And when you bring on marginalized creators and marginalized groups, you get to hear those perspectives. So when you hire people to carry on your makeup products or anything like that, they're not freaking racist pieces of crap, So, I think that's important too, to hear from our perspectives, like what's happened to us out in the world when it comes to makeup, So yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Impact over numbers. Ebonics just said it. And that's a really good way of putting it.
Impact over numbers always. Treat yourself seriously, and people will start to just like gather around you. I don't know. I mean, obviously that's not a promise, but I think
that's another good point to add though. Curate your community, like have boundaries and know that you don't have, like I dealt with one last night, a person coming in trying to hit on me and say sweet things to me, and the second I set my boundaries, they got defensive and started saying nasty things to me.
Of course.
Know when to hit the band hammer, know when to stand up for yourself. Also handle it how you want. I know a lot of people that say they just ignore the haters. I try to use it as an educational tool at the start, and if it goes beyond that, then I ban them and move on. But I do try to like we kind of talked about with educating the children earlier, educate the people in your chat about the right things to say in certain situations and about the right things to say. And
100%.
For sure. I think
your platform.
There's a lot to that as well. Like I'm very much like you, Diva, in that if someone comes in and they're being like a little, not like aggressively hateful, right? But they're being like a little nasty, I'm like, all right, let's play. Like let's go, right?
My mom were chomping at the bit last night. I'm like, you let me play.
I had one actually in my stream come from that game that I used to community manage for, and like they started like putting clown emojis, and I was like, okay, cool, like glad you're having fun. Not about this, because I don't work there anymore. You are not my problem. See ya. And it was just like, all right, let's play. But there's also a level of like, doing that while live, the rest of the chat saw, hey, she's got boundaries and they're to be respected. And I think that's a component that's like so important in cultivating any sort of community, specifically when we talk about inclusive ones, but in general, if you're building this energy around what you're doing on your stream, all of that matters for the folks that are going to be there, and often can influence someone else to choose the right thing next time. And I think it's,
and sometimes people might not the right language or things to say, and they could honestly just be like, they could be new to Twitch, they could be new to whatever, or they could have unfortunate being raised circumstances where they were raised by people or around people, and this could be their first exposure to this world of Twitch and how the proper way to act is. So don't be afraid to educate. Don't completely 100% shut them out. Because if you just go blocking every single person that disagrees with you, you're not helping anything. Like you're not teaching, you're not educating. And yes, it's not 100% our job to educate you, but there are opportunities where we can and we can help.
Sure. Absolutely. I have a couple of questions that are makeup specific because it looks like everyone's tools are down, which means I have makeup questions, and then we're going to take a moment before revealing the final looks, because I'm excited to hear about them individually from each of you. But we talked about support. We talked about kind of what it's like to create in this space. Now I've watched you and I'm inspired, and I'm sure a couple other folks in the chat are as well. What advice do you have to folks who are new to makeup or new to this form of content creation?
Monet, go first.
Well, we kind of said it earlier. It's just, you just gotta do it.
Yeah.
We said that earlier, right? Did we?
I said it.
Yeah. I mean, just start doing it. I mean, you could honestly make a great makeup look from drugstore makeup. Drugstore makeup has been coming out really good stuff lately.
All of my products that I use are drugstore.
Yeah, exactly. See, like
except for Gamer Glam.
Except for Game, yeah.
Like, and start slow. Like you can just start.
Yeah, right.
We said this. You can just start with just lipstick and just get that down. Figure out what you like as far as these products, and like do your research.
Yeah.
Come to our streams, ask questions.
Yes.
Like all the time, I'll be like, "Hey, what look should we do today?" So if there's a look that you see that you specifically like want, suggest it to me. Like, and I'm sure anyone else. Like, I love getting ideas because so basically what, like, we don't have to get too far into it, but like what I normally do is I take a look, I look online, I'll look up pride looks or rainbow looks or blue and purple or whatever I'm going for. And I'll find kind of a collage, make like kind of a collage board almost of like what look I'm trying to do. And then I'll just make my own thing of it. I'll have it as a reference, but I kind of go off of my face and do what works for my face with it.
Yeah.
And that's helped me grow because the thing I think that was the hardest for me at the beginning that some people I think might be intimidated by is I see looks, I'm like, I can't do that. Like that's too good for me, but there's a starting place for everyone. Like start with 2 colors.
Yeah.
You know, learn with 2 colors and then expand beyond there. And don't be afraid to use color. Sometimes messing up, you can actually end up coming up with some really cool things, which happens a lot on my stream is, you know, the whole Bob Ross thing.
The learning process too is because like everybody's eyes are different.
Yes.
So don't think that like because it looks good on this person and you try it on yourself, it looks bad on you, because it's just like everyone's eye shapes are different, nose, face, chin.
Exactly.
For myself, I am self-taught. I didn't go to school for makeup. And since I do drag, I did copy a lot of like drag looks I've been seeing and just trying to figure out my own eye shape and just learning like
where you fit within there.
Yeah.
And then just evolve from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, Phenom, if I could speak from an SFX perspective, you know, like it's very much so like it was super intimidating for me, but you know, I was like, I'm doing this because this is the part of horror movies that I love the most.
Yes.
And you know, I wanted to extend myself creatively because obviously there was like a void in there, and I was like, we're gonna fill it with gore and blood and all of the disgusting things that I love. And so weird transition, but you know, it's for SFX makeup, it's just like definitely do your research because these products can have like allergic reactions on the skin and stuff like that.
Test things.
The products are like a lot more strong and intense, so I would definitely do research, test it on your skin and everything like that. Just go for it. Listen,
but you can do it super cheap too.
Right. Yep. And you've actually
done some streams about that, right?
No, exactly.
About how to
Exactly. I get these like kits from Walmart, and I teach people how to make it their own and how to make it look good for a $5 kit, you know?
Wow.
And so, you know, it's just like, honestly, anything scary and creepy, there's no rhyme or reason to it. That's why zombies are my favorite creations ever, because
you can do whatever you want with it.
Who's gonna look at a zombie and be like, that's not a zombie? How do you know?
Right.
It's not historically accurate. Excuse me?
So, you know, just go for it, but definitely do your research, find products that work for you. I will say, and I will recommend, what's it called? Oh, I wish I had it near me. I'll put it in chat if I can remember it. But, you know, cruelty-free vegan products are always good for the skin, which is why I recommend Gamer Glam Cosmetics always. But yeah, just do it. Like if you
Oh.
like to get bloody and disgusting and gross,
Yes, make a mess.
Do
Make
it.
a mess.
Also, make sure you drink water, moisturize, prime, wear sunscreen.
yes,
Please.
absolutely.
And also use, like, I remember when I first started out and I wanted to learn how to make burn wounds.
Yes.
And I went on Amazon and I started looking up medical books. And a couple of my friends were
Yes.
nurses. And I would even ask them, like, does this look like a real wound? Like, what does this look like? Or I would like search stuff up and try to figure it out. And that is what helped me out a lot. And also
Right.
push yourself.
Yes.
Just like Video Game Diva said, there were times where I was like, I cannot, like, I just asked her the other day, like, how do I do a beard? I always have trouble with that.
And I had only done it once ever. And it literally was experimenting. So like, even chat helps me sometimes. I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, I can't do this look. Like they'll send me these ideas like, yes, you can. You better do this.
Get your chat involved.
And they encourage, get your chat involved. So I used a freckle pen. Anything can be used for anything. Like, don't be afraid to experiment with different mediums. And like, yeah, I had to do individual brush marks. Was there maybe a different, easier way to do it? Maybe. But find your own way. Use products. Look in the discount bin at your local places.
Just because something is a blush doesn't mean you have to use it for a blush. You can use it for eyeshadow too.
No, absolutely.
Like special effects wise, I did one of my first ever looks. I used latex and then I painted it green and put oatmeal in it. And I had a creepy lizard looking grimy face.
Beautiful.
I did Leatherface with latex and toilet paper.
Exactly. All you need is latex and toilet paper and maybe red lipstick or like paint. You don't even need, yes, Marin is great, but you don't need a Marin palette. You can use the stuff that you have. You can use lipstick. You can use eyeshadow. You can use a lot of those liquid lipsticks you can use as paint now.
Oh, yeah.
As long as they're, you know, make sure they're animal cruelty free, vegan, all of that, and they're safe. But like, you can use it on your eyes, on your cheeks, whatever. Like there's no limits.
And if everybody has like those, I think it's like boxy charms, but they're also like a box for horror and special effects makeup. I can't think of the name of it, but I used to get it.
Kits and
they'll send you like little samples, like spirit gum, all of that stuff.
For a quick photo shoot one time, I put liquid lipstick as nail polish.
No, seriously.
I've done that before.
Genius.
Right. One of
That's so smart.
One of my first SFX looks that I did was on my hand because I wanted to make sure I could use the products, obviously, and without, you know, getting an allergic reaction. And I did this disgusting wound, and I literally used like all Walmart products. I maybe spent $8.
Yeah.
And my dad is a firefighter, and I walked out and I showed him. He was like, that looks real. And I'm like, yes, I have done it.
You've done a good job.
So you like, I also want to say, like, you don't have to spend all of this money to do SFX makeup in general, but like especially SFX. And all of us are very educational on our channels, but like I really honestly try to go step by step. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. This is from an artistic perspective, blah, 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 blah.
If we forget to say something or if we go like focus face, don't be afraid to ask.
Right.
Like most of us are very open to saying the step if we're doing it. Sometimes I just zone out and I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's not exclusive to gaming streams where you're like, oh wait, why are the lights so bright in here? Right? I'm supposed to be talking to somebody. Yup. Thank you, because honestly I'm watching y'all and I'm inspired. I told y'all I bought the Space Legends specifically, even though the colors were scary to support, but like also I'm still a little afraid, so you're teaching me not to be. And there's actually a color in here that's like exactly my channel's teal. Like
there you go.
I don't know why I was about to describe it as if I'm not actively using it.
Also, that silver in there is literally the best silver shimmer of any palette I've ever used.
I use that silver for my highlights.
Yes, it's great for highlights. It's great for color on your face in general.
Yeah,
I love that. Well, the reason I brought this up is because the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to give one of these away. We're giving away a Space Legends palette in the chat. So if you want to win one and try all these beautiful bold colors as you have just been encouraged by our panelists, all you need to do is type in !pride in the chat. Yeah.
This also is bisexual colors.
Yeah, I mean I bought it for a purpose. Anyway,
and can we add in my favorite part, the I am confident, beautiful, capable, strong. And
Okay, so
then
my lights
they
are too
changed-
bright.
They changed on the new one and added in I am empowered, authentic, flawless, and ambitious. So
Hell
each
yeah.
one has new sayings in them.
I love
And
that.
It's
it feels
always
so
good to
good to
have that
hold.
around.
Right?
It feels
Right.
so
It's
good
It's
to
so
actually
hold.
really
nice.
comfortable.
It's really nice.
These
You
are
better-
honestly, I've not been a super high-end makeup gal, but I'm happy. I'm so happy with these, and I love them. And you are gonna love them too. So all you have to do is type
Yes.
!pride in the chat to enter your chance to win one.
Yes.
It's the
Do
Space
it.
Legends palette. The other one on the site is the Desert Warrior. We met our characters early. That one was represented by Blood Rain. This one's represented by Amani. So the Desert Warrior is much more
Yes,
sort
and
of
this one.
neutrals, and this is
Game
this.
over.
Oh, then they game over. That's I don't have that one. I keep for I
It
need it.
Amazing.
I need it.
Pre-orders are live
Oh my
right now.
gosh, that's
Pre-orders are
stunning.
live right now.
I need to. I waited for
I
my
know,
next
it's the
hashtag.
wallet.
Ashlinaa, don't
It's
call
the
me out like
wallet.
All of
No,
the
it's
wonderful
wallet.
people
I
have
know.
codes. So if anybody
Yes.
is going to be
Yeah.
making any purchases, make sure to find a Diamond Beauty and use their code.
Yes,
Yes.
please do.
Absolutely.
Make sure you support the creators as well as Gamer Glam. We love Gamer Glam Cosmetics in this house, in case it
Absolutely.
weren't obvious. We are going to take a quick break with one
Yes.
more quiz video Pride Month informational segment, and then we're going to roll the giveaway and check out everyone's final looks, just to check out the full detail, let everybody talk about the work that they did. So we'll be right back after this quick break. welcome back to our Glam with Pride event. We're so excited to have you all here with us on the Gamer Glam Cosmetics channel. We've just spent an absolutely wonderful afternoon, or whatever time zone each of you are in, learning a little bit about makeup, about our different creators' experiences, both as a makeup, cosplay, special effects creator, as well as a member of the LGBTQIA+ community, of course, celebrating Pride Month here for the month of June 2021. Now, we've spent all this time getting to talk and having some wonderful discussions. All the while, I've been kind of lazy. They've been doing absolutely fantastic works of art. So I'd love for each of you to kind of walk through your look, a little bit about where it came from, what you did to create it. I'm definitely not going to ask the right questions in terms of that, so I will let you speak to your own artistry. And let's start with Monet.
Hi, I'm Cashmonet. So my makeup look, I was wearing these glasses right before the stream. I literally did not know what I was going to do. And then I turned to the camera and I was like, wait a minute, I kind of like that star on my eye. So then I just painted it on there, did an outline with white. As far as my style, these earrings were made by a Black queer jewelry maker in Oakland.
Love that.
That they just got sent to me today. What's her? Akela. She's on Instagram, and then the pins on my bangs. This is a kind of style. It's like this Japanese style. What is it called?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm trying to think of it too.
Is it Lolita?
No, it's the other one. It's the very
Harajuku?
Harajuku style. But I have the transflex colors on here as far as that.
Love it.
So, I've been trying to, doing all the flag colors recently. We're still early on.
Right.
And I gotta get my looks online.
I love this. I love this too. Yeah, is it a dress or a shirt?
I'm gonna say it's a shirt.
Okay.
Right now. I'm wearing sweatpants under here.
I love it. I love it. Me too. I'm wearing sweatpants too. Don't worry.
That's the look.
Yeah.
I love it. It's and you mentioned also that you were using, like we were talking about the versatility of products, one of the eyeshadow colors from the Space Legends is your highlight as well. I just think there's so much sparkle and shine, and I'm kind of obsessed with it.
As drag queens, sometimes normal highlighters are not enough.
Right.
So using the foil colors in the palette on camera, that looks like
incredible.
A mirror.
It pops. It
looks incredible.
I put the highlight down, I put the pigment down, and then I spray it with my Fix Plus.
Yes.
And then I put more on top while it's still wet, and then it makes that
right.
very foil looking.
Right. No, it looks incredible.
Absolutely. Beautiful. We are going to get a chance to hear from each of the creators, another reminder of who they are and what they do and where we can find them towards the end. But for I want to get through everybody's. Don't forget, there are a couple things we're doing before we get to that. One, we're going to hear from the rest of our panelists, but also we're going to draw for our giveaway for a Space Legends palette. So make sure you do #Pride in the chat. And once we've gone through everybody's looks, we'll be rolling for this before we say good evening to you all. Cashmonet, that's absolutely beautiful, stunning. I love the inclusion of the flags as well. I'm just, I need all of y'all to start taking commissions for private lessons so I can know what the hell to do. Who wants to go next?
Oh, it's hard to kind of go after Monet. I feel like Diva, go.
Okay. Hi. So I wanted to do rainbow. Obviously, I had this shirt. I just got it from Amazon yesterday, so I wanted to wear it, and I got the shorts. I have the whole thing. I'm all rainbow. And then I also have this flag or this fan from Target.
Yes.
So literally,
we are color. I really want that one.
It's from Target.
Oh my god.
They have a glitch heart one too, a glitch heart rainbow one too, which I really want. But
really?
Yeah, I love doing color. I did a pan flag look last night, and I'm trying to do all the different flag looks as well. I kind of already did bisexual. I did a drag look, drag queen and king look so far. But I wanted to go full rainbow, and I know we didn't have a lot of time. So originally I was just going to do this little side rainbow, which really, it's simple. I mean, it's literally just going like that with the color and going in and going in. and I used like pretty much one or two brushes for most of this look. And then I did, you know, the little small rainbow on this side just to kind of, and then right here, I decided a little bit more glitter. So I found a look on Google and I just kind of did my own thing with it.
I have to say, you and I have very different definitions of simple, but you know what? It worked.
Like I literally took a brush. Actually, I used a Gamer Glam Cosmetics brush, one of the diamond ones, and I just brushed it on like that. Just layered it and layered it and layered it.
It's definitely thematically appropriate for you, your room, your outfit, and all of it.
Right.
I love it.
I also used the Game Over palette for most of it. I did use the Space Legend palette for a little bit, but one of my favorite parts of the Game Over palette is it has a shimmer and matte of almost each of the every color. So what I did was I started with the base color, and then I added, if you can see when I go like this, I added the shimmer to each color to kind of give it that pop.
I love it.
That's great.
I like shiny.
Yeah.
Ashlinaa, you're really trying to go last.
No, I just
I hear you.
I'll go.
Just go, girl.
Just go, Phenom. No, I'm not trying to go last in like any way specifically. But I'm just like, everyone's looks so good, and I'm just like,
everyone's in shock. They're stunned by all these beautiful looks. I get it.
I have to go to a baseball game like this. I'd rather be looking like you, Ashlinaa.
I think I'm just being hard on myself.
You look good.
Thank you. I'll go. So I used the Game Over palette. And honestly, the inspiration for my look, I just found it and I thought it was pretty. And I know for like brown eyes, like you can, honestly, you can hold color really well on brown eyes. So I was like, let's just go for it. And so I used Beta in the inner corner. And then I used Strategy in the middle, and then I used Easter Egg on the outer edges. And so I went this way, and then I went the opposite way under on the lower lash line. And then I just did a simple cat eye and some lashes. But this palette, okay, so I'm gonna be honest right now, and I'm gonna call myself out, and I'm totally okay with it. This is my first time using the palette today. I have not gotten a chance to dip into it, and are you joking me? Look at this pigment on my eyelids.
The pigment's ridiculous.
Like, are you, like, look at this, y'all.
For yellows and oranges can be so hard to pop.
Right, like, look at this. It's stunning. And like Diva said, there is a shimmer for each shade that has a matte. And I am so impressed. So this is my first time, and huge shout out. This is absolutely incredible. And that's the look. There it is.
I think your point about carrying colors, like, they look absolutely incredible on you, and they show up so vibrantly.
I love it.
I'm not good. I don't do a lot of makeup looks with a ton of vibrant color, but I also know that when I have tried, like, it doesn't come out the way you think because it doesn't lay. So it really sounds like this is just
definitely
fantastically pigmented. Yeah.
I will say I put on a little tiny bit of this Pro Conceal white.
Concealer is very helpful.
Right, and then I did the AFK shade on top of that concealer, and that really helps get those colors to pop a little bit more. So I will say that there's a little tip.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Phenom, you have puppies in your background.
Aww.
Oh heck yeah! It's definitely your turn now. It's puppy and makeup time. Let's do it.
So I didn't know what I was going to do, but this is my go-to look. I guess like a soft glam.
Yes,
especially with two boys and a fur baby, like you got to be really quick. So what I did was I used the Desert Warrior palette, and I used Arid for my shimmer.
Okay.
And I also use Drought for my my crease. And let me see, where is it at? I use Solo for my bottom lash line here at the bottom.
I love it.
And I hope GGC doesn't kill me, but I went in a Tetris palette. And I used this color right here.
I was gonna ask how that palette was, but I'll ask you after.
It takes a lot of builds, unlike Gamer Glam, but it got the job done.
Yeah.
And also my lashes are from Rebel Moon Cosmetics. She is a horror
Is it a
goth.
coffin? Is that a coffin?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
I was gonna say Ashlinaa just perked up.
Yeah, she has a horror goth makeup line. So
Send it to me.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
thank you.
I also use Ashlinaa was talking about drugstore makeup. These are my contour palettes. True Complexion, Black Radiance, and this is the cream palette. I hit pan on this, so
Revolution.
Yes,
Drugstore.
the shade that I'm using is medium to dark, and I'm also using Ruby Kisses. This is about like $5, guys. So if you go into your local beauty supply store, you can pick this up, use this for your contour. I also use it as concealer as well.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what I used.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely. I'm learning so much about how this is done and what to pick up from y'all, and I'm sure the folks in chat are as well. I do think we are going to roll for our giveaway, so although I'm not in control of the roll, I'm going to do a little mini desk drum roll for us, and we will find out our winner. If you are chosen as the winner, please make sure you send a message to Gamer Glam Cosmetics here on Twitch. They'll get you connected for all of the right information. That's don't come to me. I don't know how to do it. Gamer Glam Cosmetics is going to be the one collecting your information. The giveaway winner is Video Game
I did
Diva.
not enter. I didn't even enter.
No. Oh, were you maybe by chatting? You were chatting.
Maybe.
Did you accidentally put pride? Like, hey, type pride to
type exclamation. I did the same thing.
If I did my emotes say pride in them. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Reroll.
You have a
reroll.
So we've got a question from chat. I think we have the concept of a question, as well as maybe we'll have a question. What was that, Deepa? I'm sorry. What did you?
I said reroll.
There we go. Our reroll goes to Kushi R.
Kaushi. That's one of my mods.
Oh, that's where you're saying Kelsey.
Kaushi.
Yeah, Kelsey.
Like
Oh,
Kelsey,
that's
but
cute. Okay, I consider myself to be the queen of unpronounceable Twitch names.
Oh my
my gosh.
Ask Science reporting for duty. So I love a good, clever, unpronounceable nickname rather than like, oh yeah, it makes sense when you actually read it instead of it's just gibberish. So congratulations.
Yay!
On your game win. Thank you so much for entering and for being here in the chat. As we go to sign off this evening, I do want to just make sure everybody gets a chance to, whoa, hold on. I was going to say reintroduce, but we have a new introduction as well. Just make sure that our chatters know who you are, what you're about, because I'm sure they've fallen in love with you and your shining personalities on our panel today. So who are you? Where can we find you? And, where they can go to stop by and learn more about you. I'm going to start with Diva just simply because you have a new friend. Yeah, we can't avoid this.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Hi guys, I'm Lunch. I like to sing a lot, and unfortunately Twitch does not let me sing as much as I want to because they have a lot of rules. But yeah, we love to sing, and I'm shy sometimes, but if you get to know me, I have a lot of emotes, and yeah, I love makeup, and you guys are all beautiful. I love you.
I love you.
Oh my
I love you so much, Munch. Munch, thank you for blessing the stream with your presence. You are so great.
Hey, I'm gonna go lay down. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Same.
He likes me to throw him to his bed.
I love
That's the thing.
It looked like he liked it, yeah. Diva, where can we find more about you and your good friend Munch here?
Twitch.tv/VideoGameDiva. You can find me pretty much everywhere. Video Game Diva, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. There is an underscore because they still have not given me my name yet, even though the person on that account is very inactive. So we're working on getting that check mark on Twitter. We just passed 10K followers on Twitter. So we're working on it. But yeah, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I do have a Facebook and YouTube. YouTube, I'm hoping to add more makeup content too. Single mama life is busy, especially in the summer. I'm also adding some new content to my stream this summer. I'm going to be traveling with my kids here and there, and I'm going to be doing some photography. I really want to add in doing my makeup taking the photos and coming back and editing them on stream, because I actually have photography and editing experience as well. So hoping to add that in. But yeah, here we go.
I love it.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Let's go with Phenom. Let us know where we can find you, because we definitely don't want to lose touch.
You can find me everywhere at DaFemalePhenom, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. You can also catch me on my streams. I'll be doing time to time special effects makeup, beauty makeup. You can also follow me on YouTube, where I post highlights. There's also a docu-series called The Adventures of Aussie Pants, where we take a look in the day into my youngest son's eyes while he's on the spectrum. So please check that out. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment or ask me. I'm an open book. So
I love that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to check that out, because everything, even from the times we've been off stream and we've got little glimpses into what's going on with you and your family, it just seems like such a wonderful, supportive environment. Good on you, Mama. And I can't wait to check it out.
Thank you.
So definitely go follow DaFemalePhenom as well. Ashlinaa, what about yourself?
Again, my name is Ashlinaa. That is Ashlinaa, 2 A's at the end. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. Anyway, it's that on everything, Twitter, Instagram. The only thing is on TikTok, add TTV at the end of it, because someone beat me to it on TikTok, which is whatever. I was that person. I was like, I'm not gonna do TikTok because Vine was better. Like I was totally that person at first. So anyways, I'm on TikTok everywhere. Twitch.tv/Ashlinaa. I do a variety of things on my channel. I am also chronically ill, LGBTQ+, and I am Latina and Indigenous, believe it or not. And I like to raise awareness on my channel. I like to talk about real shit. I also have a podcast called Motivational, where we share stories from streamers' perspectives and uncover that layer, or better yet, facade that everyone gets to see. And we talk about real shit and real issues and everything like that. But yeah, no, that's where you can find me. If you like Halloween, if you like horror movies. Oh, let me bring this up too really quick before I end. SFX stream win, like panel win, like all of us get together.
I'm in.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Anyway, side note, that was a little side note. But yeah, no, that's where you can find me. I hope you come check out the channel. I hope you come check out everyone's channels and just come have fun with us. And you're gonna find a safe space where you can be yourself.
Definitely. That is 100% the energy I get from each of you. And I think sometimes in the creator space, you can kind of tell when someone's saying that, because it's like the thing to do, versus that there's a true cultivation of an inclusive community. And 100% get the right vibe with y'all. And I truly can't wait to spend more time in each of your spaces as well, because I've just enjoyed getting to meet you. And last but definitely not least, Cashmonet. Where can we find you? How can we get more of you? Because I will miss you as soon as the Zoom call ends.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cashmonet. You can find me on Twitch at CashMonetDrag. You can find me on Instagram at CashMonetDrag. And you can find me on Twitter, which is a little bit more unhinged than the other ones, at I'm Cashmonet. It's Cash like Lenny, Monet like the painter. This week, tomorrow, I'm actually streaming at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
But if you want to see a drag show, come in on Thursday, where I stream Pastel Gore, and that starts at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it is me and a few other drag performers that are performing. So tune in. It's Drag.
Love it.
There for sure. That sounds fantastic.
Right.
Thank you all for being here, for your perspectives, for your insight, and for your wonderful looks and your technical expertise. I definitely took a lot of notes, and I hope to the folks in chat that you have learned something along the way. We are so excited to create this stream, have our Glam with Pride event with you. Thank you so much to the team at Glam Cosmetics for making this all happen. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you to everyone helping make this stream happen. I'm definitely not the person to follow for makeup looks, but my name is Libby, and online I go by Askesienne. I do variety content that currently does not include makeup, but maybe one day.
It will.
And I focus a lot on charity and community, because I do community and social in my real job. But that's enough about
We
me.
could do a panel and teach you how to do your makeup in a stream and do it together.
You guys can come by anytime and just interject and be like, please do this differently. Because I was like, y'all were doing your looks and I'm like, yeah, I used these two, right? I was like, that was my knowledge.
I love it.
But I am so appreciative. Mostly, y'all, make sure you stick around on this channel here on Gamer Glam Cosmetics. Make sure you go check out the website, join the Discord, follow on the socials. You can also check out the IFundwomen fundraiser that is helping Gamer Glam Cosmetics not only create more incredible products and develop all these beautiful characters behind the products, but support the Diamond Beauty program as well and the creators that help bring Gamer Glam Cosmetics to their audiences. So definitely make sure you give GGC all the love. We are so grateful to be here. We're going to call it a night tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Have a great night or time zone wherever you are, and take good care of yourselves going into the week ahead. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Cracky.
I've been holding on for so long, I can't remember.
The fire's gone, I'm all burnt out. The embers have